In this video tutorial, we're going to review installing your signage player with a capture card. The capture card will allow you to insert any type of input directly into your specified screen division. This input can be S-video, composite, component, HDMI, and will allow you to connect full high definition into the specified screen division. So again, what this allows you to do is take any type of device like a cable box or a satellite box such as a dish network or DirecTV, or even security cameras or streaming server, just any type of device that outputs to one of the inputs we support, and take that image and put it in any specified screen division. So you can show live TV or any type of live video format. So we'll do this in two steps. First, we'll cover the Signage Studio. We'll show you how to configure your Signage Studio with the capture card support. And then we'll go ahead and cover the Windows operating system, showing you how to install the driver and how to configure the Windows to support the same capture card. So the first thing we should do is we should decide in which type of screen division we want to run our live TV feed. And I'm going to go ahead and use my HD screen because it's configured at 1920 by 1080. And we're going to run our screen capture component in both full screen. So we're going to take advantage of this SD1 for full screen configuration. And we'll also are going to run this in this screen division 3 configuration. We're going to run it in a smaller screen. Okay, so now that I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and use my HD screen, I'll go ahead and switch to my campaigns. And I'm going to go ahead and add a new campaign for this demo. So I'll click on the plus sign and I'll go ahead and call this campaign 3. Click on next. We'll go ahead and use the HD screen that I just showed you. And go ahead and click on next, next. And I'll go ahead and start with a full screen. So I'll go ahead and select my screen division, this one right here, and click on finish. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up my timeline. So I actually want to be able to run this timeline for 2 minutes. So I'll go ahead and go to my timelines and set this to be 2 minutes in length. And for the first minute, I'm going to be running in full screen. Next, I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to my toolbox and to my screen divisions and set this into this configuration for about 30 seconds and then switch back into full screen. So that's what my configuration is going to look like. I'm going to go start from a full screen, switch into this type of configuration for 30 seconds and then switch back into full screen. So now we can add some channels. So I'll click here and add a few local channels. However, anytime you work with a capture card device, you need to make sure you're using a common channel and not a local channel. So I'll go ahead and add one common channel, and that's where my capture card component is going to reside. And you can see there's a little hand icon. So this represents a common channel. And what a common channel is a channel that can be represented throughout every single timeline of a campaign. So if I switch back here to my campaigns, you can see I just have a single campaign right now. And let's go ahead and call this campaign 1. So I will add a second timeline, click on the plus sign, call timeline 2 and finish. And as you can see now I have 2 timelines. However, this common channel is represented in both timelines, timeline 1 and timeline 2. And when you work with a capture device, you want to make sure that you put the capture component on the common channel. And if you're not sure what a common channel is, you should definitely check out the video tutorial for that. But just to recap really quick, a common channel is a channel that's going to be available throughout every single timeline in a single campaign. So for example, in my campaign 3, you see that I have this common channel right here in my timeline 1. And if I switch to timeline 2, I have the same channel. So I don't have to reproduce my work every single time. I can just use this particular channel if I want to. And what you should know is that if you're going to use the capture card component, you definitely need to use a common channel. You cannot use a local channel. So with that, let's go ahead and switch back to my timeline 1. And let's go ahead and use this common channel. So I will go ahead and start with a full screen configuration. And I'm actually going to use the blue channel. So I'm going to run this just as it's configured. Then I'll switch to this screen division. I'll go ahead and assign my common channel to this configuration. And then I'll go ahead and switch again to full screen, but this time again use my common channel. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start with whatever content is going to be on my blue channel, then switch into this configuration with my common channel, and then go ahead and switch into this configuration again with my common channel. Then I'll go ahead and switch to timeline 2, and in timeline 2 again I'm not going to be using my common channel. I'm just going to use the blue channel, the local channel. So that's my configuration. And now we'll go ahead and do the most important part, which is to assign the capture component. So we'll switch to toolbox and I'll go to components. And right here, I have my external application capture component. I'll go ahead and put that on the common channel. and I'll go ahead and put this for the full duration of the timeline. I will double click on it to load up the properties and select the third tab right here. And next we'll go ahead and click on this drop down and make sure that we select the Every Media High Definition for Windows. And that's it. At that point, you've configured the high definition capture component. There's nothing else that you need to do. Everything is already pre-configured for you. And of course, at this point, you can start assigning the other channels and build your presentation like you would normally do. Assign channels and maybe put some content. So all pretty regular stuff. So really our focus is right here on the common channel, and it's all configured. And again, what I want to emphasize is that again, we are using the capture device but not necessarily assigning it all the time. As you can see right here, it's going to start off without actually showing any live TV because we're not assigned this channel. This common channel is not actually assigned. Then after 1 minute, we'll switch into this screen division where it is actually assigned, so we are actually going to use it, and then switch from this small screen division with the live TV into a full screen division. So again, we are utilizing the capture card in these two screen divisions, and when our second timeline kicks in, again we are not using the capture device, so it's not going to appear here on our second timeline, and whatever content we'll put here, that's on the blue channel, that's what's going to play. And that's it. At this point we're done setting our configuration. Now we can just go to the stations and select the station that's going to be running this campaign and assign it the campaign 3, which is our live capture component campaign. And at this point we are done with our configuration as far as the studio is concerned. We don't need to do anything else. We at this point can start configuring our windows to support the live capture. So let's go ahead and get into step 2 now. So I went ahead and logged into the remote Windows machine that's going to be running the Signage Player desktop version. And as I said earlier, we do support both Windows XP, Windows XP Embedded, and Windows 7 for the Signage Player desktop version running the live capture high definition card. And so right now I'll go ahead and show you which capture card we support, which is going to be the EverMedia device. You can go to www.evermedia-usa.com and we'll go ahead and click on this link right here and go to products, and over here under capture device right here. And if we scroll down, you can see this EverMedia high definition device, and this is the device that you're going to want to purchase. And you can download the driver for it right here. So we'll go ahead and download the driver by clicking this icon. So right now it's downloading. And if you do have a small form factor player and you cannot put the PCI inside because you don't have any free slots or no extra room, we do have our own external PCI Express version of this card. So if you're interested in getting the external version, go ahead and check the website for more information. So the driver finished downloading. Let's go ahead and kick off the installation. And this will install the EverMedia Media Center as well as the driver for this particular capture device. And at this point you just want to go through the standard installation process. So now that the installation is complete, let's go ahead and check it out and make sure that everything is installed properly. So we'll go under the C drive, program files, we'll go to the EverMedia, and then EverMedia Center. And here's the application you want to launch to make sure everything works properly. And the first thing that we're prompted with is this dialog, so we'll go ahead and check this so we are never prompted again. Click on no. So next you'll click on this TV icon. Now we can see we get a nice clear picture, and you can select your source: composite, S-video, component, and HDMI. Now, one thing I want to add on HDMI, most providers that provide HDMI over their cable or satellite, such as a Dish Network or DirecTV, also transmit an additional protocol called HDCP. And HDCP is actually an encryption protocol that prevents you from using a capture device with HDMI so that you don't rip content like movies and other copyright content. So again, if you use one of these providers and they do use HDCP, you may have to revert back to using Component, which is still high definition, will still give you great quality. So just again, if you do see the HDCP error, go ahead and use Component instead of HDMI. So at this point, we're done working with the EverMedia Center. It works perfectly. We've selected our default source, which in this case is the component. If we double click on the image, we get a full screen. So we know the driver and the capture device works properly. And we can move on to talking about the physical connection of the capture device to your source. So now let's take a moment and review the physical connection, how you will connect your source, whether it's a DVR or DVD or a tablet. How will you actually connect that to the capture device? So you see here we have the capture device, which is a PCI Express, and it doesn't matter if it's internal or external, it will be the same exact configuration. And it has two connections. It has a dongle which has a whole bunch of cables coming out of it, and it also has a HDMI port. If you're going to use the HDMI, you'll just connect the device directly to the HDMI input and you're done as far as that particular connection. If you're going to use a dongle, you can actually go over Component, S-Video, or Composite. So the video image, the video input source, will come either through the dongle or through the HDMI input into the capture device. Of course, the capture device will be connected to the motherboard via PCI Express connection right here. From the motherboard, from the actual PC, you'll connect your TV over HDMI, DVI, or VGA, whatever it is that you have available. We support them all, and you'll connect directly to the TV. However, the audio will come through a separate cable. It's not going to come over the HDMI. It will come actually over a separate cable. So you'll connect the green connection from the motherboard, from the back of the PC. You'll use the green connection and connect the RCA audio to the TV. So the video will come over HDMI, DVI, or VGA, but the audio will actually come over this RCA left-right stereo cable. And this will come again from the green back port. So that referenced the audio out. Again, the audio out meaning from the PC, from the player to the actual TV. As far as the audio in, you'll connect this left to right audio from your input device. So if your input device, your input source is a DVR, for example, use a left to right RCA cable into a mini jack, and this will go into the pink back port over here. So again, from your device directly to the left right audio into the pink back port of your PC player. Now what's great about this configuration is that because we're getting our audio input through this back pink port, if for instance you're not assigning the capture device at a particular instance of the timeline, your audio will actually be muted. So this pink port will actually get muted and you're not going to get any audio, because obviously if you haven't assigned the screen division with the capture device, you don't want to see it and you don't want to hear it. And so we actually go and hide the capture device and actually mute this port. So this is the proper configuration, so we'll have full control over the audio of your capture device. And you do want to make sure that your back port, your input port, which in our case is a pink port, is enabled. So you'll want to turn on your control panel, and under your sound settings, double click on that. Go ahead and click on Advanced. We get our panel. Let me go ahead and bring that down right here. So this panel right here, if we move it, we have this rear pink in. So you want to make sure this is not muted, and you want to turn the volume up a little bit. Again, this is the rear pink in, where the audio is going to come into the player from. So this is just one thing to make sure that this is not muted. And again, this is available through the control panel, the sound properties. So if you follow this installation through the driver and the physical schema that I demonstrated here, you'll have great quality image, no interlacing. The high definition card really does work very, very well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely let us know if you have any more questions. Thank you.